Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm going to take you through one of the most used data pool templates that are used for a very granular transaction level information and insight. We call this the account transactions report. The account transactions report is actually quite difficult to develop on our end because we're limited in terms of how Xero opens up the API to give us that information. What we have to do is, in order to make it easy for you to use, do it in a two-step process. At the moment, you're able to pull all the transactions, but Xero doesn't allow you to parameterize those according to particular dates. So we have to do that for you through what we call syncing. Syncing enables us to pull the information into a local workbook for you to then set the specific parameters and dates and periods for you to then pull. So what we are going to be showing and explaining is how the process works from a syncing perspective and then how it works from a data pool perspective. Ultimately, it's a two-step approach to give you a really easy way to extract source level transaction data. The use case for this is really when you're trying to do very detailed reconciliations between ledgers and source information. So if you wanted to try and find, for instance, your CRM system, which we actually have used many times, like HubSpot, and you're trying to extract information from the CRM and match it to Xero at a transaction level by customer, then the account transactions report is really a great way to start. It allows you to select and pull down all the information from either on a cash basis or on an accrual basis to compare and reconcile that information. The account transactions report also allows you to look at information and its source, whether it's coming from a bank feed or a bank transaction, or whether that's a manual journal or someone's posted something into the accounts. It's really a great way to build some financial control disciplines around the accuracy of the underlying transaction information. The other great use case for the account transactions report is for audit and for working papers and calculations. As an accountant preparing your work papers for particular clients at the end of the tax year, this is a great way for you to pull that information, synchronize it to Xero, and avoid having to do that manually by logging into Xero and extract the account transactions report. It's quite a manual process, but of course, if that's automated and synced and all done through formulas, then connecting all of that is really quite straightforward. So let's get into the account transactions report. So here we are again at the start menu, always a great place to start. And the account transactions report appears under the data pool segment, which is sitting underneath the clean P&L and balance sheet, which we did earlier. So the account transactions pool, we just either click on the particular icon or we can click on the particular name and it'll take us straight to the master control template. So here we are in the master control template for the account transactions pool. We've actually created some instructions that explains exactly what to do in the steps that you need to take. I'm going to run through that pretty quickly in this video. As we have normally, we click our get to get the list of the particular entities that we want to pull from. We select with a little X the particular entity we want to pull. Then we have to select whether we're doing an accrual, a cash, or both syncing basis. So the basis which we sync allows us to pull information from Xero. Xero either allows you to pull cash only or accrual, but not both. So we actually allow you to do both. That means that when you come to actually pulling, that you can select either accrual or cash without having to wait for the whole syncing process to happen. What we recommend is that if you are intending to do both cash and accrual analysis from time to time, select syncing for both. Then what you do is simply click the syncing button. So I'm going to allow it to sync so that you can see in the background what's happening. Once that sync is complete, now you're ready to actually do the pull. Now it's easy for me to do this because I'm not actually going to show you the information relating to the selected entity. This is exactly the same that you would do in any other pull. But rather than actually pulling now from Xero, you're actually pulling from that local file that's been synced. Choosing your date, your month end, your year end, how many periods you want, Syncing will always sync from the start, from transaction number 1 all the way to current. When you're pulling, you can select which period, and you parameterize the period that you're going to select. Hopefully you've done both, so you can select either accrual or cash basis. Once you've done that, you simply click pull. Pulling will then bring that information into the data account transaction sheet, which is listed here. All of these headers are exactly the same as they appear in Xero. So if you're unsure what these headers mean, they'd be very familiar to you when you extracting reports directly within Xero itself and exporting that to Excel. None of these headings should be unfamiliar if you're used to using Xero's account transaction report. The only difference is now you can do it in an automatic way. If you want to add new entities, same as the other master controls, you click add. If you want to clear, we just select clear and it's gone. So I hope you understand how to use the account transactions report now. What we found is many accountants asked us during the beta program for this account transactions report because there's a lot of month-end work that gets done. Reconciling bank transactions, making sure that actual transactions have made their way into Xero. You won't believe it, but sometimes there are differences, and for whatever reasons, sometimes transactions get missed. By using the account transactions report and actually comparing that to the actual bank statements, you're able to validate whether in fact Xero is accurate based on the source transactions. You've got all the source transaction types, so it's easy for you to validate the numbers are correct. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope this saves you a lot of time. So just remember, keep Excel and leverage the cloud. Thank you.